So the final episode of The Boys just aired, and the internet has been in talk saying that the show has fallen off. This is the worst season yet. Uzi, you were one of those people. Can you tell us why you were wrong?
I wasn't wrong about the first half of the season. Like it was kind of boring to watch because basically the first half really wasn't that great. Didn't really enjoy it too much. Second half picked up a lot. I really did enjoy the second half. They changed some of the story beats that I thought they were going with. That was good. I liked the part where like he kicked out Sage, where she gets fired. Like I thought, oh, okay, that's a good twist. I know she's gonna come back probably at some point because that was a weird exit for her. But I like the way they brought her back. It didn't make the most sense, but at least I get that they're setting up for next season. And then the way everything kind of fell at the next end of the episode, it's a good setup for the next season. So it picked up like halfway through the season, but I stand by what I said. First half was boring.
I mean, I don't think you were wrong. I had similar complaints to what you were saying about like a lot of things happening. I think there were just too many storylines happening at the same time when the show started. So like everything that you were complaining about, like the Kimiko Frenchie thing, Starlight and Huey, and then you have MM, and then it's like the main story you really were caring about was Butcher and Homelander, but all of those side stories kind of came together at the end. So like when, you know, Kimiko's voice finally gets revealed or whatever and she's calling out for Frenchie, it's kind of like, even though you were kind of blown, like the momentum from season 3 didn't immediately kick in season 4, it's just kind of like the way this shit ended, I'm like, low-key, this might be better than season 3. So that's how I kind of ended this one, even though that shit had Soldier Boys.
I'm happy. You get to see Soldier Boy coming back for the final season wrap up. We get to see some of the kids from the college. I know they appeared in some of the episodes this season. They came back again the last episode. I think Gen V season 2 is coming out next year, and then it's season 5. Is that right?
Yeah,
that would make sense.
They said the earliest what's the next season of The Boys would be 2026. That's the earliest. I mean, I have a feeling if it's with this like whole soup takeover thing, then it might be even longer because like that might mean you have to like shoot more fight scenes and shit like that. Because if you haven't noticed, there's not really that many fights.
That's coming in Gen V for sure. Like Gen V season 2 is definitely
that's what I was gonna say.
Leave off or pick up where the boys immediately left off from. Like we're gonna see repercussions in that season for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't know what season 5 is gonna look like though. I'm hoping. I know A-Train's gonna come back because when he left, I was like, that's a crazy exit for like a character that's been here for like all 4 seasons. He has to come back for this final one, or at least be in Gen V.
I mean, or at least be maybe one of the people that helps break them out of prison or something towards the end. I think like that has to be his arc because you saw Starlight be the next powerful. I like how remember season 3 we liked it because Soldier Boy kind of killed it. Like the whole idea of the humans taking the V to fight them, like giving them a fighting chance finally was really cool. Like now you kind of have like we finally can take on Homelander maybe. But this one was more like a you saw mirrors of everybody, like Butcher and Homelander are kind of the same, like going through that identity crisis of like, what the fuck am I doing? And like Annie losing her powers or whatever, and then like finally getting it back. Like I think that's why, like, even though the way it started was kind of weak, it just ended so strong. I don't know, like I think I'm kind of thinking that Gen V has to pick up either in the prison or like I can't see Homelander being the one to like save them. I feel like Gen V is gonna have like a lot of remnants of Ryan, and then you're gonna maybe see Ryan be the one to lead these kids or something like that. He's gonna have to get the truth of Homelander, something like that, because I can't see the story's too entrenched in Gen V now. I think I did also see that the show got criticized for being like overly political. I don't know if it was just me. Maybe I just always kind of noticed that or always thought that in the show.
You're not a Republican. You get the jokes. Yeah.
Come on, man. It's easy. Yeah. But they got both sides, I thought. Like they were making fun of the MCU. They're like, the whole like VOT cinematic universe and shit. They're making fun of like I don't know, like the pandering movie companies and shit to like include so much diversity and shit. I'm like, this is funny. And then of course your boy Bruce Wayne
they had the A-Train, the black athlete origin story or whatever, where it's the white guy who helped the entire way. Like they did that too. Like that's a classic, like
Will Ferrell.
Very liberal. Will Ferrell, yeah. Like, this is the reason I'm fast. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. They get everyone. It's just the people now are just like, it's right in your face. We're not trying to hide it anymore. Like here it is, and they just like come to the realization.
Yeah, they're literally. I mean, when when they're ending the goddamn season on "Make America Super Again." It's like, all right, it's not the most veiled.
Yeah, it was pretty on the nose, you could say, but it was funny. I think that was the point of it. It was like supposed to be so obvious or whatever, so it didn't bother you. Like, it's not like anyone's watching this show and guessing like, oh, is that a parody of Spider-Man or is that a parody of like Bruce Wayne? Like, it's so obvious or whatever that is like it's funny, but
they do it intentionally.
I think the unveiling of the characters in itself, I think my one complaint of it was like we saw Butcher's power get revealed at the very last like 10 minutes of the finale, which I would have kind of appreciated, because I think like I would appreciate it earlier only because in the first episode when you like when it goes blank, and then you're already like by the second or third episode you're starting to like assume, I mean at least a lot of people were on the internet, that like those two people were made up in his head, he's just talking to him, like there wasn't really that CIA guy or whatever he's talking to. So it's like, if this guy's in his head, you saw him kill someone already, we're like almost waiting to see, like we know there's something that's mutated in you, but we waited to the last second for that reveal. I don't know, it was just the only, like, it's not even a complaint really, but it was kind of like, damn it, I wish we can kind of see what's to come of that. I will say though, with that, I was surprised he killed her Newman, but I don't know what y'all think, if y'all think that's still enough to kill Homelander, or if he even needs the poison anymore.
That's not even, the powers aren't super explained. I mean, I remember when like Kubi trying to stop like Kimiko and Starlight, he like, no, suicide. I was like, it's just tentacles. I don't know.
It's just like tentacles. Like,
I feel like it's an easy power to overcome. Maybe I don't know.
It reminded me of a Spawn, like that hero Spawn or some shit like that. I don't know. Like it gave me that vibe. But I was gonna say that like, what's her name, Newman? They shot her in the head and that didn't do anything. And like even Homelander's lasers didn't hurt her, but like Butcher could rip her in half. So like maybe he is strong enough to take on, like he could rip someone that's like super durable as well.
How durable is Newman? Like
she was durable enough to take a bullet to the head.
She was scared of Homelander. Like, she was scared of him. So
and lasers. Like when Homelander revealed that she was a superhero, he just like burned her and it didn't do anything. So it can tell you that like she would maybe withstand some level of damage, but I don't know. I'm just guessing, like it's not just some like melee hit. It has to be something that's like mutated, and it's made of V, so it has to have something. I'm just guessing. Like that's what I was really wondering. That like, do you still need the virus? Is the virus there to like weaken him and then take him on? Like
the daughter has the same power, but this like a smaller effect, right? It's just her mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're like, she has the weird tentacle monsters on her face.
Yeah, so I don't know why she could have fought back.
Also, real quick, I was gonna say, weren't his original powers with V, weren't they like lasers and like super strength? How the fuck did it morph into like tentacle monster?
Apparently they said that like because I don't know if the powers are supposed to be repeated. That would have made more sense logically, but they said when he got off of it, it gave him cancer, and then he took more of it, and then that mutated the cancer. So like there's a thing apparently in like I didn't watch the Diabolical like series, but I was just watching videos saying like apparently in like the animated Diabolical thing, like the short thing, there's that same power of someone else that has it, like a mutated cancer virus, and like eventually that mutated cancer virus like comes out of them too. So like it might kill Butcher once it maybe leaves, if it leaves or something like that, if it's its own thing, because I think that was the whole thing where like Butcher looks like he's super weak, but if he lets that guy take over, or the the monster take over, then he's cool again. So as long as he's like listening to him and shit, otherwise he might die by the Deep and by Noir when they're whooping their ass and shit like that. So yeah, there was I don't know, there was just some key moments. I don't know, like I wanted to touch on at least the boy, the GOAT, Homelander. Come on,
give my son an Emmy for like, I think it was episode 4 when he's in that elevator. I'm like, he is fucking cynical, dude. Like, damn, like
I think that's really him. I think
it's like, I was like, it's not acting. It's like not acting whatsoever. It's like
he's like unsettling as hell. Any scene he's in, like he's like smiling, hands behind his back, he'll ask like 1 or 2 questions, and you know he's powerful, but then he'll ask you to like either embarrass yourself and then get really serious and then be laughing and smiling through it, even though what he's saying is super humiliating. Even the lightest shit where he tells that girl Firecracker to sit like 2 seats down is like,
he's funny. Yeah,
I think that's probably the best episode though, the one that you were mentioning in the elevator when he goes back to see like how they tortured him and shit, and he talks about everything, and then I don't want to say you humanize him, but yeah, you can kind of see like, yo, they were burning my man's like skin alive, and of course, like they were making fun of him when he first jerked off. Like this guy was tormented his whole life. Like it's no surprise he's a fuck. I think at least I was theorizing maybe like Ryan is gonna be the one to kill Homelander. Even though I want Butcher to do it, and I think like Butcher would be the one to kill Ryan then, or something like that. And
he can't.
I think he will, because like apparently in the comics, but this
Ryan
has no
his
story.
Own thing. This is his own thing.
They just murk Ryan off break. So I would think that would be, and I think that would be a good way to close the story out, only because that would be like the last remnant of Becca and stuff, and then kind of allow Butcher to die peacefully, something like that.
Is that peaceful though? It's like
I don't know, not
literally dying the villain.
Her literal like dying words were like protect Ryan or whatever, and so he's gonna do the polar opposite by murdering him.
Because I feel like they're showing that Ryan is pretty impulsive in every other scene. Like he can't really control his anger. Like he's the one who ended up killing his mom, remember? And like he just killed what's her name, Grace or something this episode. So we're propping him up as like, we have to protect him. We need to like, but it looks like he's getting manipulated from both sides.
You're like, the idea is like, oh, that kid who like used to like torture insects, if that was Ryan, he'd be a Homelander, and then like, okay, that makes sense. I get that.
I think it's like Butcher loves him. Clearly, he wanted to protect him. He didn't want him to know, even as much as he hates Homelander. He just wanted to love him, but he didn't want him to like know something so dark. I guess he had that protection of him, but I think he's gonna have to kill him just because that's what's his name keeps saying to him too. It's like, yo, gotta kill him. Like, we can't use him anymore. I'm sorry, but
I think Ryan's gonna kill him. I think that's what I think. I think Ryan's gonna kill Butcher. Yeah, this is the only way, because Butcher turns into like a bad guy.
There's some other characters that could be even flipping, right? Like Soldier Boy might be helping Homelander for all you know at this point, because they just switched on him. Like I don't see him being just a random third party, and then Starlight being the one to fly away, which, by the way, as you know, I was shitting on Starlight the whole season. She did redeem herself. Like, I was kind of like, all right, she stepped out. That was cool as hell in that last episode. But we also forgot Maeve. Like, I think she might come back in some way. I don't know if she's going to be someone that Starlight tries to go to for like advice, because there's no one to.
Yeah, I thought she was dead. She blew up with Soldier Boy.
No, he blew her up, but she was alive at the very end. She has her eye patch and all that. You don't remember the very end of season 3?
Right, yeah. She's on like the hospital bed or something with an yeah.
Damn, I thought she was dead.
Weirdly enough, I was gonna say also, even with season 3, they were waiting for Soldier Boy to be the one to kill him, because we saw him do that. But that laser hit Maeve full blast and only took her powers away. It didn't even kill her. So I don't think it would kill Homelander. You know what I mean? Like, it was if she took the full impact. If a woman can take it, obviously. I'm kidding.
I was kind of scared they were like gonna fuck up Sister Sage, because I was like, all right, smartest woman on the planet. You didn't see this shit coming. But then when she came back at the end, I was like, oh, okay. So
they surprised me with that one, Sister Sage. I know, Usman, you were talking about Sister Sage earlier, and you said you saw her coming back. I didn't. That surprised me. I thought she was gonna flip teams. That seemed like the obvious thing to happen. Like, all right, obviously they don't got powers over there as powers like Homelander does. Like, we'll help the fucking other team.
Again, I like that they brought her back, and I like that they did it. And because I said, like, I saw her thing basically going one of two ways. If they go another way, cool. They did. I thought it was good to bring her back. I liked her character, and it was a decent way to bring her back. I did think it's a little like, though, I hope there's at least some way that they explain it in the next season. But like the whole thing of like, this was my plan the entire time. Your plan was that Butcher had a fucking cancer with the dual personality that took him over and then would kill Victoria Newman for you. That was your fucking plan.
That's
bullshit.
A good point.
Her thing of when she apparently gave Starlight's medical records to the firecracker chick, and then she went on her show and she said like, oh, she had an abortion or whatever. That like demonstrates like, oh yeah, I gave you this to set you up, and then I knew you would say it on your show and she would come and fuck you up. Like, that makes some sense. How the fuck is she gonna prove? Again, I knew that Butcher had two people talking in his head, and he was at the last minute gonna let one of them take over and kill Newman.
Maybe I read the plot wrong, because I thought that her plan was mainly just to get it recorded that they were attempting to assassinate her, not like actually get it done. Like, that just happened to happen that Butcher did it, but I thought it was the recording that revealed that like, yo, I told you to try to kill Newman, and now look where she is. Like, and then that was the president, so then he obviously is gone, and the vice president or something. I thought that was as simple as it was, and maybe I read it wrong too. But DeAndre, did you think it was something else? Did I get it off base?
I knew she started recording. And then when she walked in the room, she said like minor hiccups here and there, but it still got done either way. So that's why I took it as girls get it done. All right.
Yo, I would say though, it was her, Firecracker, and who else? The new Black Noir or something this season. Out of the three characters, they're all pretty good. I don't know who I like the most, like, because they're all funny in some way.
I want to ask you guys. So with Firecracker being sick, and she's like, "Oh, it's the meds, it's fucking me up," and Homelander, was drinking her, I don't know, not baby milk, just milk. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Is he gonna die from that? Because she was sick as shit. I don't know what the fuck happened to her. Yeah. He was drinking that shit, and I feel like they just wouldn't show that for like no reason.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it's more to do with her, and then they showed her like better at the end of the episode. But
I didn't understand that. So how
she was like fine at the end of it. Again, it's either they're gonna explain it, or it's like, oh, she had makeup on that made her. I don't know. But I would think that. But my thing was, they showed she's not exactly like a powerful superhero. She just like makes like sparks out of her fingers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, my guess would be like, well, she can drink all those meds and get sick because she's like close to a human, whereas his like superhuman DNA was just like,
don't make sense, man, because she was like she was fighting Annie kind of strong. Annie was fighting A-Train and fucking the Deep.
She wasn't fighting Annie though. She got her ass beat.
Well, but she alive. She alive. She's adorable.
The other thing I heard that's a rumor, it's not true, but Anthony Starr said he's okay with it, or he's in agreement with it, is that the next season is gonna be the last, but that might lead into like a final movie. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know how I feel about that. Just end the show. Like, you have 8 episodes, give an extra episode, or give like an extended episode or something like that.
Yeah.
We don't need to make this like a feature thing. Like, the writers are too aware of everything. You'd be leaning into the shit that you're making fun of at this point too. So don't do no cash grab shit that you're probably gonna parody off of next season. I just don't know. My bad. Last thing was just that I don't know how much longer Gen V would last either, because of how like pivotal this plot line is into that. Like, I could see that show obviously opening up with them all in prison. If Gen V is like the reverse of this, like the pseudo X-Men life of like, the world is afraid of mutants type of thing. If you're now imprisoned and shit, and you're seeing like Homelander next season pretty much raise this army and take over the world, and then I guess when Butcher and them stop him, like, I don't know where the Gen V story could go after that. I don't know if I'm thinking too far ahead, but I don't see Gen V really lasting much longer without the boys being a story.
3 seasons max. You got this next season coming up,
what I was gonna say.
And then maybe a 3rd season just to wrap up some loose strings or so. But like, I don't think it needs to be anything like how long the boys is. 3 seasons max. Unless it's such unless you got something to say. Unless you got something to say and it's still good, then continue it. But I don't see it happening.
They could do anything. They could be like, oh, Compound V is eradicated. No, we still have some. Like, it could be something.
I mean, how long do you want it to go on for? Like,
I want it to be maybe 1 more season, 2 more max.
I would love it if they literally just did the 2nd season of Gen V and it was all just a setup season for the final season of The Boys, or at least partial setup, whatever. Like, heavily influential for the final season of The Boys, and then that's just it. The final season of The Boys is it. They can even bring more Gen V people into The Boys last season. You can do that. So technically it's sort of like they get 3 seasons, because you'll see them for 3 different seasons of a show.
Literally. No, but I think that's way better than giving a season 3 of Gen V. I think having that banger final season of The Boys with Gen V characters, like you said, that makes 10 times more sense.